The LightWave 2015 content contains a lot of examples of vehicles animated using dynamics. In this video we'll go through the process of creating a very simple dynamic vehicle. Let's start adding all the elements we need to build our dynamic vehicle. Let's add a null. This will be the car body. Let's add another one for the wheel. Let's move it like here. And let's make nulls, rigid bodies. Let's select the wheel null and let's change the shape from box to cylinder. We can also change the axis. There is a new option here in bullet transform that let us change any transformation of the shape, so we can change the position, the rotation, the scale. Let's change the scale to something like 0.3 for X, maybe 0.4. Now I'm going to clone the wheel one time and move it here and clone it again and change the X coordinates, putting a minus here so we have a symmetrical copy. I would like to see all the dynamic objects at once, so we can go in world here and change the drop bodies from related to all. So now we can see all the bodies we've created. Now if we hit play, of course everything is falling down. There are rigid bodies. First we need a ground plane. I will create another null. This is our ground plane, and make it a static or kinematic body. Static, it's okay. Of course, box, it's the right shape. And all we have to do now is to go in transform and change the scale on X and Z to something like 10 and the Y scale to 0.2. Now let's select all the dynamic objects composing our vehicle and let's move them up a little bit. If we hit play now, we can see the objects colliding with the ground plane. But of course they are all disconnected. To connect them, we will use bullet constraints. First I want to tweak the shape of the body just a little bit. So let's make it a little like this and like this. Nothing special, but just a little better. Now I need 3 constraints. So let's start. Let's select the body and then the front wheel, and let's create a hinge constraint. The constraint is selected. I can move it around, and if we press Alt while we move, we can snap it to the pivot of an object. I will do the same for the other wheel. So body, wheel, and hinge. Let's move it with Alt, body, the other wheel, and a hinge. Move with Alt, and snap. Now we need to correctly align the constraint. Let's select them and let's rotate them 90 degrees on the heading. Let's hit play. Another car is rolling and everything is connected. But of course we want to control the car and make it move forward, and we can do that using motors. Almost all the constraints have motors available. Point to point has got no motor, and the same happens for spring. So let's activate a motor for this hinge constraint. Motor tab, enable motor. We can choose a target motor speed. It's in degrees, so let's go for something like 30 degrees for now. And a motor force, let's go for 1000. So now if we hit play, we can see it's moving, but of course we need to consider the mass of the objects and the strength applied by the motor and tweak them so we can get the result we want. Let's make some changes to the weight of the objects. So let's set the density for the wheels to something like 20 and the body something like 30. I'm going to make the rear wheels a little heavier. 30 should be fine. Now let's see what happens. The vehicle is not moving a lot. We have to change, of course, the friction. Let's put it to 90%. It should help a little bit. Yes, it does, but now what we really need to do is to increase the target motor speed value at the motor force. So now we should have a quite stable simulation. Yeah. Let's reorganize our hierarchy. So let's parent constraint 1 to wheel 1, constraint 2 to wheel 2, constraint 3 to wheel 3. So now we can move, for example, our body and rotate it, change the sides, or select the wheel and move it like this. Then we can hit play and see the final result. Whoops. Something else we may want to do is to add a master and select all the wheels and the body and parent them to the master itself. Now we can move the whole dynamic system around easily just using the master. You move the master and rotate it and then hit reset. Building this vehicle has been really easy. Of course, it's a very simple one, but we're still missing some stuff like steering and acceleration controls. There will be videos showing that. In the meanwhile, stay tuned and have fun with bullet constraints in LightWave 2015.